Hello Emma, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello Ioana, nice to see you. My name is Emma Silagi. I am a fashion and textile technologies graduate, and I have a degree in textile engineering, and I am currently affiliated with ecoop, which is a sustainable cooperative for sustainable artisans, and I am also partnering with different educational projects in sustainable fashion as well as a recycling company.
The fashion industry has a big impact on the planet. Could you tell us why?
Of course. Well, the fashion industry is actually one of the biggest polluting industries in the world. It accounts for 8% of the global carbon emissions, which is actually a lot. It's more than the transportation, maritime and air transportation does in 1 year, which is absolutely crazy if you think about it. And it has this really big impact because of the supply chain. The supply chain of the fashion industry is very long actually, because if you think about it, it starts with the moment that we harvest the resources, be them synthetic or natural. If we're talking about a natural fiber, then we need to plant a fiber and we need to grow it, and then we need to process it. And just growing fiber, let's say cotton, it takes up a lot of land, it takes up a lot of pesticides, it takes up a lot of resources, water especially, and then you only have what? A plant. You don't even have a yarn, you don't have anything. And if we're talking about synthetic fabrics, then we need to extract petrol from the bottom of the sea. So this is actually a very resource intensive process for either of the situations. So if we take that into account, then we have to process these natural raw materials. We have to process them into yarns, which takes up a lot of resources again, a lot of machines, because it's not an easy process. And then we only have a yarn, so we have to create a textile. Then again, we have to take a bunch of machines and a bunch of energy and a bunch of resources to create a textile. And then when we are done, we only have a textile. This needs to be dyed, this needs to be treated with different chemicals for different purposes. And then we need to ship it all across the world, and we need to create a garment out of it. Usually the workers that are doing this are very, very underpaid as well. And there's a lot of shipping emissions that come through in the supply chain as well, because none of these processes are done in the same place. Afterwards, we are going to buy the textile or the clothing, and we are going to use it. And the moment we use it, we need to wash it, right? We need to do all sorts of things with it, which takes up even more resources. And then most of us end up throwing it away, or not thinking about it. So all of that is wasted, which is very unfortunate. So thinking about everything in a loop, that's actually why the fashion industry has such a big impact on the planet.
What is the idea behind sustainable slow fashion?
Well, the idea is to try to minimize the impact that I just talked about, so cutting as many steps as we can from this really long life cycle. This usually can be done at any point of the life cycle, so options are quite endless, and we need to think about how we can reuse what we have, how we can produce even less, and how we can counteract fast fashion. Fast fashion is one term that has been rising up since the 90s. It has started with the industrialization and the use of plastic. We have rapidly started to produce synthetic fabrics, which take less time than the regular natural fabrics that we were used to up until that point. And this movement actually started boosting the production of the fashion supply chain, and even more and more and more items. And nowadays, compared to, let's say the 1970s or 80s, we are actually producing about 12 times more than we used to. So regular collections used to be maximum 4 per year, so 1 every season. But most stores would actually just do 2, so that would be summer and winter. Nowadays, we have 2 collections per month. So at least 24 collections. Really big stores do even more than that. So we're really, really overproducing, and we're also over-consuming due to the fact that the production costs have been cut dramatically. And of course, the planet and the workers have to suffer because of this, and that's very unfortunate. And Because of this, we are producing so much, and we do not actually need all of this. There is a study saying that if we were to stop producing right now, we would have clothing for an entire decade. We would not need to produce anything else. It already exists. So the idea behind slow fashion is to start to go back to the way that we used to do it, right? And to produce in a slow-paced manner that is friendly towards the environment and the workers that are involved in it. And of course, to use more natural fabrics that are produced with less emissions, or to reuse fabrics in all sorts of ways, to upcycle, to produce less and better quality. Because right now we all know that if we go to one really big fast fashion store like Zara or Shein or whatever, we would buy a piece of clothing and we would have to throw it away in a few months because it's already broken, or it's already the fabric is already peeling, or all sorts of problems. So we are in slow fashion. We are really focusing on quality over quantity. We are focusing on having a good product, a timeless product. We're steering away from trends, which is really important as well. And we are really looking at the way we source the things that we do. And of course, we are looking at the creativity of designers.
What kind of sustainable fashion practices could a family implement?
Well, there's a bunch of things that a family can do in their day-to-day lives, and this includes, first of all, educating themselves, so learning more about the impact of fashion on the planet, and then learning about what kind of brands are okay and what kind of brands are not okay. So making a difference between fast fashion brands and slow fashion brands. So I will name a few. So some fast fashion brands that you should avoid should be, first of all, Shein. That's actually one of the worst offenders in this category. Anything that comes from Temu, anything from the Inditex group, so that means Zara, H&M, C&A. And of course, what is usually available, so Bershka, Stradivarius, what is usually available in malls that is very widely known and at a European level, it's usually fast fashion. Some slow fashion brands would include Armed Angels, for example, or Eileen Fisher, or Patagonia. Of course, there's many more, and you can always research a brand before buying. That would be a second thing that a family or any kind of consumer can implement in their lives. And you can always turn to local production and to local designers, and this will also support the economy of the community, and it will be very helpful for these very creative young people that are doing all sorts of nice new ideas. And you can always buy secondhand. Buying secondhand actually has a huge positive impact. So if you're already doing this, congratulations, you are doing this right. It is great if you are giving a new life to clothing, because something that is discarded by somebody but is still in great shape is going to have a much longer life and a lesser impact on the planet, rather than giving it to recycling, for example. So of course, yeah, vintage and secondhand shops would be your best friend. And you can also look towards swapping and changing things with your community. You can look for swap events, and you can also look for just swapping things with your loved ones, with your close people and friends. And yeah, just looking at the fabric, that would be great. Looking at the label to make sure that the fabric is organic, it's natural, it's biodegradable, or recyclable or recycled.
You told us about ecoop. Can you tell us more?
Yes, of course. Actually, we are here right now. So this is the headquarters of ecoop, the Sustainable Artisan Cooperative. Cooperative actually means having a bunch of different people come together in a sort of business setting, but compared to a regular business or corporation, we all have equal rights and the right to vote and to give an opinion that has to be considered equally. We use this room for workshops and for different events that promote sustainability. They're usually about education in different ways. So we focus on practice, so learning by doing, and also just raising awareness and using the space in different ways to get people to engage in their community and talk about sustainability and promote our values. We have very wide range of workshops as well. So we do all sorts of things from DIY, like crocheting or paper mache, or learning how to cook with different ingredients, or making your own cosmetics, towards even active workshops, which are, dance and all sorts of contact improvisation, jam sessions, so a lot of things. We are doing a lot of things. And I mentioned the swapping events, right? This is also part of ecoop. So we have a whole part dedicated in the shop to secondhand. So this is called the pre-loved. Pre-loved is about gathering the clothes that we no longer use in our community and reselling them and presenting them in a nice way so they find a new home. And every season we organize swapping events, so we encourage people to come and to leave their stuff that they no longer want and find new things to go home with and be happy. And we also every season organize a big fair with all our artisans and also other artisans that are doing sustainable items in our city. And we go out in the streets or in very big public places and we sell, so it's really nice. And we offer this alternative for people to, change the way that they consume and to be more aware and to, have a different perspective on the way that they gift and they use and everything that they do. And of course we cater to all age groups, so definitely families, young people, older people, everybody is included. I will take you on a tour now, so let's go.